What?
Where have you been all night?
I've been out.
I know that. I asked where.
Marcia, I've been doing some walking around, drinking a lot of coffee, doing a lot of thinking. Then I went to the hospital and I got a couple hours of sleep.
And you expect me to believe that?
No, to tell you the truth, I don't care what you believe. I just came back here to shower and shave, and I'm going back to the hospital.
Doug, how can you do this to me? I haven't slept at all.
Marcia, I'm sorry if you haven't slept, but I'm sure it wasn't because you were worried about me.
I think you ought to know I called Annie's apartment last night.
You did what?
I pretended to be your answering service. Her roommate answered the phone and said you weren't there.
Marcia, how could you do that?
But I didn't believe her for a minute, and I almost went over to check.
Marcia, this problem is ours now. Just remember that. Annie does not enter into this anymore.
So you keep
I
saying...
only did this to protect her from your vindictiveness. I don't want Annie to be caused any more pain.
Is that what you decided on your walk last night?
What I decided on my walk last night is that I am moving out of this house as soon as possible. And this time, it's for good.
You wouldn't dare.
Marcia, the situation has changed. You try and stop me now. It'll be all over town about your little fling with Jeff. And I don't think either you or Jeff would like that very much.
We'd survive?
Would you? You think Jeff is going to testify against me in court and risk losing his job after going to such great lengths to get it? I don't have to remind you about those lengths, do I, Marcia?
Jeff would do anything for me.
Well, then I think you better hang on to that friendship. Might be the only one you have left.
Oh, Doug, please.
Just forget it, Marcia. You're not going to carry out your threat against Annie. You try and stop me now, and you're going to ruin your reputation. And you don't want the tables turned on you. Not that you have to worry about me going to Annie. Whatever we had together, you destroyed. That's something I'll never forgive you for.
Well, don't be too sure about what I'll do. I don't have to tell my little story in court to cause your precious little Annie trouble. There are other ways. You hear me? There are other ways!
Well, I did think that Bennett would be in here with you, Hester.
Oh, no, he's outside with Sheriff Hargraves. They're trying to find a sign of forced entry. I told them it was a waste of time, but they insisted on looking anyway.
Why do you say it was a waste of time?
Well, I'd have heard something if someone tried to break in.
Well, no, if you were attacked down here in the living room, then somebody had to find some way into the inn.
Well, it wouldn't have been hard to jimmy open one of the doors or a window. They're all so old they don't do much good anyway.
Are you sure it was a woman? I mean, I just don't understand how you could think that.
Yes, I'm sure it was a woman.
How? Because you told me that you didn't see anyone.
Well, you can call it instinct if you like. I also could smell a scent of perfume in the air. Mimosa perfume.
Mimosa? That's rather uncommon, isn't it? Never heard of that. Oh, Sheriff, did you find anything?
I'm afraid not, Mrs. Coleman. None of the windows or doors seem to have been broken. And with the ground all frozen solid out now, there's no sign of a footprint or anything. A lot of icy spots, so watch your step when you go out.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me, Bennett, I got a phone call from the garage. They said that they would bring a tow truck and get Dr. Bickford's car just as soon as the roads were sanded down.
Good. I'll keep an eye out for them.
Hester, do you have any idea what time it was when the attack took place?
I
I know exactly what time it was. The clock in the hallway struck the quarter hour just before I heard the noise down here.
That was 10:15.
Yes. So it would have been 17 or 18 minutes after 10 when I came down to investigate.
Now, I remember when I came in last night, I looked at the clock, and it was just a little before 10:30.
Well, obviously, Hester was struck just before we got here.
Sheriff.
I know what you're thinking. If you arrived so soon after the attack, then the person responsible may not have had time to get out. She or he may still be somewhere in the inn.
So, Dad, when do you expect Dana back?
Well, hopefully later tonight, if she can get everything cleared up today. She said she'd call me at the hospital when she knew something definite.
Well, that explains why you're so happy this morning.
Well, listen, tell me, when's the big move?
Tomorrow. But I'm not going to take any of the furniture, so it's not going to be very much. I'll just throw my books and clothes and records in the car and be on my way.
And you'll be all settled in before you have to leave for Norwich.
Yeah. And speaking of that, did you talk to Dana about flying up there with us?
Yes, and she really doesn't want to leave Oakdale. You see, the choreographer for Ian's new ballet is in town, and she kind of wants to meet with him very soon.
She wouldn't mind if you went up, would she?
Well, as a matter of fact, she suggested that, but I don't want to be without her again.
Well, it won't be that long, Dad. I mean, you could fly up there for the party the night before and then fly back right after the wedding the next day.
I don't know, Tom.
Well, I wish you'd consider it anyway.
Well, as I say, I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of playing everything by ear.
Hello?
Tom, good morning.
Oh, Mom. Hello. It's good to hear from you. I was concerned about you.
What do you mean you were concerned about me?
Well, I tried to call you at the hotel in New York last night, and they said you'd already checked out. I was going to call the Willows later today.
Oh, I see. Well, Bennett and I did leave early, and Tom, it's really a good thing we did, too, because when we got here last night, Hester was unconscious on the living room floor.
Another one of her fainting spells? They're getting serious.
Oh, no, wait, Tom. It was not just a fainting spell this time. It seems that Hester had been struck on the head by, well, it seemed a mysterious woman who got into the inn somehow or other.
What?
Well, Hester's not badly hurt or anything like that, but we think that whoever might have attacked her might still be around here this morning.
You know that, and you're still staying there?
Well, yeah. You see, we didn't realize that this woman, I mean, that is indeed if it is a woman who did this, might still be here until this morning. But Sheriff Hargraves is here now with Bennett, and they are searching the place. And I'm sure if they look, Tom, don't worry about me. They're not going to find a thing. I'm going to be just fine.
Oh, I don't like that, Mom. I don't like it one bit.
Something happened, son?
Yeah, Hester was attacked at the inn last night. That's Bennett's housekeeper.
Tom, you talking to someone? Who is it?
Dad's here. He stopped by on his way to the hospital this morning.
Why in the world didn't you tell me? Let me speak to him right now.
Sure. She wants to talk to you, Dad.
Thank you. Good morning, Lisa.
Bob, it's so good to hear your voice. I hope I'm going to see you next week.
I'm sorry I can't make that promise yet because I'm not sure of my plans, but I guess you know that I would like to be there on such an important day.
Well, I'll believe that if I actually see you here. And I hear that you're making some wedding plans of your own. Kim tells me that you and Dana have already made your wedding date.
That's right.
Bob, I hope you'll be, well, I wish you all the happiness in the world. I hope you'll be as happy as I am. Believe me, your happiness means so much to me. It's because you hold a special place in my heart, something no one else will be able to touch.
Look who's here. Come on, sweetie.
Hi, how are you, Dee?
I was over at Kim's having breakfast, and I thought I could save you both a trip and drop Andy off here.
Wasn't that thoughtful of you? Dee, have you finished your breakfast?
Mm-hmm. I have a few minutes before I have to leave for Ian's. I'd love to spend them with Andy.
Oh, why don't you help him off with his coat?
Sure. He's full of vim and vigor and energy this morning.
You know something? I think you're getting bigger by the minute.
I've seen it in a while, Andy.
Let me take your coat.
Oh, thank you.
Would you care for a cup of coffee, darling?
I think that would be terrific.
Oh, I tell you, it was so kind of you, so sweet of you to offer to have Betsy while Kim's away in Norwich for the wedding.
Well, Kate and I are really looking forward to it, Ellen, but I don't think it's going to happen. Kim told me that Betsy's flatly refused to stay with us.
Yes. Kim called me late last night.
Thank you.
Told me that they had talked things over again. Betsy explained that she would feel too cut off from all of her new friends here.
I guess she's at that age.
Oh, I remember when Annie and Dee went through that. Suddenly they didn't even want to go away with the family on vacations. Friends just became the most important part of their lives.
Oh, dear. I'm afraid Kate's going to feel the same way in about a year.
Well, I can just about count on it. I think that right now, this time of her life is even more difficult for Betsy because of Dan. She's been so confused about things, and I think that her friends have become even more important to her because of it.
Oh, Ellen, I certainly can understand that. I'll tell you what. Some afternoon, Kate and I will stop over here and visit Betsy, and maybe she'll agree to spend an afternoon with us.
Oh, that would be nice. Excuse me for just a minute. Hello.
Hello, Ellen. It's Marcia Campbell. Are you going to be in this afternoon?
Yes, I'm going to be here with Andy all day.
I wonder if I could come by and have a talk. I don't want to intrude on your privacy, but it's important.
Is something wrong, Marcia?
Yes, but I really can't go into it over the phone. Would it be okay if I came by around 2?
2 o'clock would be fine. I'll see you then.
Ellen, is something the matter?
I'm not sure. That was Marsha Campbell. She sounded as though she'd been crying.
I just wish Jay would call me so we could at least talk things over.
Well, the last time I talked to Carol, she assured me that he would call you, Ralph. Oh, yeah, and she told me why he left town so suddenly.
What did she say?
Well, Carol was advised to put her father in a private nursing home. Apparently, he needs the care and the therapy, and it was a very difficult time for her, so she called Jay the day before Thanksgiving and asked him to come and help her.
Well, I can certainly understand Jay responding to an emergency like that. But it still doesn't explain why he hasn't called me since he's been there.
Well, I don't know, maybe...
Oh, Ralph, I'm glad you're here.
Hello, Ralph.
Hi.
Look, we just got some more price quotes from some of the other suppliers that Jay uses.
And?
Well, 2 of them are right in line, but 3 others are charging almost 1/3 more than the wholesale builder's cost.
Just like Santini, huh?
That's right. And it looks to me like those overcharges add up to the same increases you had to come up with so suddenly.
Well, what about Jay's share of those increases?
Well, I hate to say this, but I don't think Jay ever intended to share those costs with you, Ralph.
Look, Ralph, now that I've seen the figures, I'd like to be in on that meeting when you talk this out with Jay.
Yeah, sure. But look now, I don't want to give Jay the impression that we're all ganging up on him again.
Hello, Hughes and Coleman. Oh, Jay, yes. Your timing is perfect. He's right here. 1 second, please. It's Jay. He called your office. They gave him this number.
Ralph, just tell him you want to get together when he gets back here, but don't say anything about the new figures.
Hi, Jay.
Oh, Ralph, hi. I understand you've been trying to reach me?
Yeah, I sure have. You know, we've been very worried about you. You left here without saying anything to anybody.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I had a little emergency down here that I had to take care of. It came up pretty suddenly.
Yeah, I heard about that. I hope everything's all right now.
Yeah, it seems to be under control. I'll be bringing Carol and Amy back to Oakdale tomorrow. Listen, I heard about you taking care of my payroll for me last week. I really appreciate that.
Well, I didn't want to see construction stop on the center.
Okay, I'll square it with you as soon as I get back.
Jay, look, before we do anything, I wish the 2 of us could sit down and Just clear the air. We have an awful lot to talk about.
That's fine with me, Ralph. There's only one thing. I don't want Don there. You understand?
Well, let's worry about that after you get back, huh?
I mean it, Ralph. This thing has got to be settled between you and me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Honey, I don't know what to think. Ralph is very upset, isn't he?
Yeah, I guess he is. That phone call from Sandy doesn't come in fast. I don't know what's going to happen.
He doesn't want you to be at the meeting.
All the more reason why I should be there.
Don't look at it. It might be better if Ralph and Jay had a chance to talk first. That way, Jay may not be threatened. He may not be put on the defensive. You know, if his temper flares up, we won't learn anything.
All right, maybe you're right.
Yeah. Oh, Tom, I've been waiting for you.
Yeah, am I that late?
No, it's not that. No, I just wanted to talk to you. I wish I hadn't voiced off like I did at the club last night. I sounded like an alarmist. I got thinking about it and...
Well, you may have had every reason to be alarmed.
Why?
I had a call from Mom this morning. When she and Bennett got back from New York last night, they found Hester unconscious on the floor of the inn. She claims she was struck from behind and knocked down.
Well, did she see who it was?
No. She claims it was a woman, but she never saw who it was.
Don't you walk out on me. It's the first time we've been alone since I got back here last night. Now, I want the truth about this woman that struck you. The truth, Hester!
Bennett, I told you everything I know.
It was all an act. You made the whole thing up to try to frighten Lisa away.
No!
First, you tried to persuade me not to bring her back. When that didn't work, you took things into your own hands.
That is not true. Bennett, you are hurting me.
Now, you listen to me, Hester. Don't you dare try another trick with Lisa to frighten her away, or I will. Or you can go back and take care of that lunatic, gibbering idiot brother of yours for good.
Oh.
What's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that? Hester!
It's Martin. There's a change in his condition.
You told me on the phone that there was no change.
Oh, I know that, but I didn't want to upset you while you were away.
Upset me? You know I don't give a damn about Martin Blake. I hate him. I wish he were dead for what he did to me.
Don't say that. I know how much you hate him. That's why I try never to mention his name. That's why I didn't tell you I was driving up to Moorcliffe and why I lied about his changing condition.
What change? What change?
He's trying to say some new words.
Words? What words?
Shovel and cellar. He says them over and over again.
Bennett? What's wrong? Why were you holding Hester like that?
I was trying to get the truth out of her. I accused her of making up that whole story about being attacked to frighten you away.
Well, what did she say?
She insisted she was telling the truth.
Look, Bennett, I know that she has tried to do things to frighten me away, but this time I really think she was telling the truth. You saw how she was on the floor when we walked in last night?
Could have been another one of her fainting spells.
No, I don't think so. I really believe that she had a terrifying experience. Look, she said, well, you know she was here all alone. She heard a noise, she came downstairs, and then she said she saw a shadow on the wall. Honestly, just the thought of it makes my blood just run cold. It really does.
Lisa,
and then
everything
I talked to Bob and I talked with Tom on the phone. I told them about it. And just repeating the whole story gave me a chill all over. It just... Hey, what's the matter with you? Bennett? Come on now. What is it?
I overheard your phone call with Bob this morning. You two were on very friendly terms.
Yes, we are. Bob is Tom's father. Bob is my friend.
But he's your ex-husband. It just doesn't seem right.
Oh, come on now. We've been so close for such a long time. We've gone through so much together. He means a great deal to me, and he always will, darling.
Probably feel that way about Grant Coleman one day.
Oh, no, I really can't imagine that. But if it happens, well, I'd say, hell, how nice.
Excuse me, Bennett.
Oh, yes, sure.
I've been over every inch of this place from cellar to attic. No sign of anyone.
Well, thanks for your trouble.
Where's Hester? I'd like to talk to her again before I leave.
Oh, of course. Hester, would you come in here, please?
What is it?
Nothing, I'm afraid, Hester. But if any of you should see or hear anything the least bit suspicious, I want you to call me right away, you hear?
Oh, yes, Sheriff. We certainly will.
I'll see you out.
Oh, by the way, Bennett, I came across something kind of funny when I was searching the attic.
Yeah? What was that?
A strange architectural thing about the inn. One whole open section up there has no corresponding area on the other floors.
Really?
Must be a big empty space between the walls of the lower floors. If I were you, I'd check it out for some old secret passageway.
Now, that is interesting.
I'm afraid it's nothing as dramatic as that. Those empty spaces are the old original chimneys. Years ago, when the new ones were put in, the old ones were simply closed up.
Unused chimneys? Yes, I guess I could explain it. Well, goodbye, Mrs. Coleman. Hester.
Good night. Goodbye, Sheriff. Thank you so much. Boy, that's it. Now, that cat Lucifer, that's probably how he got all the way from the cellar to different parts of the inn, all the way up to your room, Hester. So...
Well, listen, Sandy, I really appreciate your taking the time to hear me out, especially since you have problems of your own. No, I understand. I understand. You're right. Well, don't you worry about it. I'll manage somehow. Right. Listen, Carol sends her best. Yeah? Thanks again. Goodbye, Sandy. Well, that was my last hope. Down the tubes.
Sandy won't help?
She said she'd like to, except she can't really swing it right now.
But what about all that money that Kevin left her?
Well, honey, apparently it's all tied up in stocks or something, and she'd lose money if she sold out now. How did I manage to get myself in another mess like this anyway? I was so sure I could make it this time.
I'm glad you told me everything.
I always intended to pay Ralph back every cent as soon as the money started coming in. I still intend to, with interest. I just needed that chance to try and rebuild my life. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Now it's all come down to my head again. I never thought that Ralph would check all his figures.
Okay, I think the best thing for you to do is to be honest with Ralph now.
Carol, I can't do that. If Ralph pulls out, or if he sends me into jail, it'll be all over. And I'll never have another chance again. No way.
This isn't your last chance.
If it all comes out, it will be. I know it can still work out. I do believe in the project.
Oh, Jay, I just wish you had trusted me enough to confide in me from the beginning. We would have found a way, an honest way for you to get that extra money you needed.
Yeah, I guess so. I sure couldn't see any way. I've given you so many reasons not to trust me.
I know you were thinking of Amy and me when you did this.
I was, Carol. Do you believe that? Do you really?
Yes, I do believe you, honey. Ellen, I realize now I shouldn't have come.
I had no idea what this was all about.
Well, I thought you should know the truth. thought maybe you could help Annie.
Marcia, I know my daughter very well. I know that Annie has flaws and vulnerabilities like everyone else. And I can also understand how she might be able to respond to someone like Doug.
I didn't say I blamed her for it. Doug's a very attractive man. And he and Annie have a lot in common.
Even so, I will not believe that my daughter is having an affair with Doug. I know her too well to believe that. She was bitterly hurt by something like that herself.
Hurt?
Oh, yes. When she was married, her husband... She found out that her husband had been involved with another woman. Because of that, I feel all the more certain that Annie would never knowingly do anything to break up a marriage.
Well, I didn't mean to imply that she was doing it viciously, Ellen. I just think she got in over her head, you know. And, well, I know my husband very well, too. And he's very susceptible to the charms of a pretty woman. And Annie's so young and innocent.
You said something the other day. Something about the fact that Doug never gave you any cause to be jealous. Now you are telling me something quite the opposite.
Well, I only meant that those casual friendships were never a threat. But I never dreamed that they would go any further than that.
And I don't believe it has.
Well, I really must apologize again for coming like this. I guess I just hope that you could reason with Annie. Because Doug and I do have a good marriage. She can only get hurt with all of this.
I don't mean to be rude, but I think that you had better leave now.
Of course. I can understand how you feel. I don't blame you for being upset. If you could talk to Annie, though, and...
I will make a decision as to what I want to do.
I'm sure you will.
I'll see you to the door.
I feel terribly embarrassed. I never expected you to take this quite so personally, Ellen. Goodbye, Marcia. Goodbye.
Kim Stewart, please. Kim, it's Ellen. I wonder if you could get off early from work today. Well, I'd appreciate it if you could come back here as soon as possible and pick up Andy. There's something that I must take care of. It's a personal emergency.
Annie,
Hello.
no one told me you were here. How long have you been waiting?
Not very long.
Got another speck in your eye?
No, it's nothing like that.
A splinter in your finger. I'm great with splinters.
Doug, I learned the truth about something last night.
Truth about what?
Why you lied to me about changing your mind about divorcing Marcia.
All right, listen, Annie.
Don't. Let me finish. I know you did it to protect me, but it was wrong. You should never have put yourself in that position.
Barbara should never have told you.
It wasn't Barbara, although she confirmed it later. The person who told me was Jeff.
Jeff?
Yes. He believes that we've never done anything to reproach ourselves for. And he felt very guilty that he hadn't told me what was going on with Marcia.
Oh, Annie, I'm sorry.
I'm glad, I know. But I wish you had told me the truth in the first place.
Couldn't take the chance. Not with Marcia.
I know, Marcia threatened to involve me in a scandal, but Doug, nothing of what she suspected was true.
That doesn't mean there wouldn't have been sensational headlines. Annie, it is not always easy to prove your innocence.
We could have fought it. But you came to me and broke it off between us with no explanation.
Frankly, I'm sorry you ever found out the truth.
I'm glad I know. I had a right to know about it. I know you were just trying to help me.
Yeah, I've done a great job, haven't I? Look, the point is, Marcia is a vindictive woman. I am going to leave her. But the moment I make a move toward you, she's going to carry out her threat. Do you have any idea what that might mean to you?
I don't care what it means. Marcia cannot hurt me with a lie, no matter how many headlines it makes. I am a big girl now, and I know what I can handle, and Marcia cannot intimidate me with a lie.
Hester? 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 Where is she? Disappears every time I need her. Hester! Poor Bennett's in there working so hard. He's got to have some tea, some broth. He needs some energy. Hester! Nowhere to be found. I'll fix it myself.